Hi, everybody. We have Tom Daves live. Thank you for joining in. And today we have a special guest, Vickie Pizzarelli. How are you today, Vickie?
I'm good. That's a handful of a name to say. So,
Well, thank you. So glad to hear. I hear so many great things about you from our friend Matthew Stewart and others. So, if you don't mind, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
sure. And thank you, first of all, for having me. Um, I've been in real estate for over 30 years. I started from the ground level up as a receptionist, because back then they called administrators receptionists, and worked my way up to office manager, sales manager, then a realtor over the years. And I started out in New York City, actually in Manhattan, and I took a little break. And when I had my kids, and went into real estate when I got divorced, and I was a single mom, and it was a great business to be in as a single mom because my schedule was flexible enough where I could work around my kids' schedule. And I really enjoy being a realtor because I like helping people, and I also like helping other realtors become successful. My sweet spot is single moms and young moms, helping them out because that's where I was. And back in the day, when the big black book was out, and you didn't have the internet. I'm dating myself. You were on your own. Nobody taught you anything. So it's much easier now to be a real estate agent. But that's my sweet spot, is helping single moms. Pretty much most of the people in my office are young moms or single moms.
Well, that's awesome. So, how many kids do you have?
I'm sorry.
How many kids do you have?
I have two boys. They're grown. One's getting married. The other one hopefully will be getting married soon.
Well, awesome. Well, hats off to you for being so successful and being a single mom. So, if there are other single moms out there, what do you recommend and what have you done to be so successful as a single mom?
I think the biggest fear with young moms or single moms is the money issue, that they're afraid they can't do it because they're afraid they don't have the money. And I think you just have to jump in and just do it, and don't let your fears overcome you, because that's our biggest obstacle, is what's going on in our minds and making us afraid to move forward. And not that I was never afraid. I was, it was always a big scary step to take the jump. But once I did it, real estate's treated me very well over the years. I've owned three brokerages. I've had 60 to 100 agents at a time. So it's been very good to me. And I'm glad I jumped into the water and took that initial step.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, and I think a lot of things that we do, you mentioned the word fear. A lot of times we just have to push through our fears and we have to just go ahead and take the plunge and just get started.
Yeah.
So that's some great advice for others. And you've been extremely successful. You've had you've been affiliated with franchises, and most recently, you've had your own independent brokerage. And so, if you don't mind sharing, what inspired you to join EXP Realty? Maybe kind of what it was like before and what it's like now, and what problem this solved.
Well, I mean, I went independent because I was just ready to do that independent stage. I worked for many franchises over the years, and I was watching EXP's model and looking at it, and it struck my curiosity. And Matthew Stewart approached me, and we've been talking to each other for like 8 months now. That was a hard sell because I'm that high D personality. I want what the numbers for, give me what it's going to do for me, and we'll get to everything else later. But I just like the option of where you didn't have that brick and mortar, which it's a huge expense. I think a lot of people don't realize when they go into owning a brokerage that that is a big expense. It's just not the building, it's the tools and the systems you have to supply for your agents. And to keep your agents, you got to constantly renew stuff and get new things for them. And I just love the app. The atmosphere that EXP had when I went to the Dallas convention. That was the no brainer for me. When I went to the convention, I just like, this is a no brainer. this is definitely for me. I like the camaraderie that everybody had, and the enthusiasm. Everybody was so enthusiastic. Everybody was so willing to help each other, which I really thought was great. And the perks of the stock options, which was attractive to me, and the revenue share, which is really a great option. So it's more ways of making money besides just selling real estate.
Absolutely. Well, and so based on what you've shared, the I would just like to also mention the collaboration that you've shared. There's just so much collaboration and top like-minded agents that all have a vested interest, and I've never seen anything like it. As well as the revenue share and the stock and the economic model, it really provides a clear path to an exit strategy to just have an amazing life. So, well, let me ask you this. What's your secret to balance everything out? I mean, your business, your personal, your family, your health. What's your secret to balance things out so well?
Scheduling, time management. Everything's written down. I'm still old school. I use a planner. I have to see it on paper, and I write everything down that I'm going to do. Everything is written in stone, and I try to keep a schedule.
Well, that's absolutely the key. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist, right? And then I know that you also love to share and teach. What classes do you love to teach, or how do you love to help others grow?
I like working with the brand new agent because you know as well as I do, you take the classes, they teach you how to pass the test, and then here's your license. Good luck. And
Oh, good.
it's been like that for years. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. And I see so many agents flounder and not succeed because they just don't know what to do. And I love teaching social media, even though my kids don't think I'm that smart with the computer and everything. But I've been using it before they were born. But
Yeah,
um, I like to teach social media and teach new agents how to market themselves and use a lot of stuff that's free that they doesn't have to cost them a ton of money.
right. That's awesome. So, what would you share with a brand new agent that doesn't really know anything about social media? How do they get started with that? Maybe the two or the three tips that they can start right away.
First of all, don't overwhelm yourself with all the social media platforms. Pick one and master it and post every single day. I tell the agents all the time, don't be a secret agent. People have to know what you're doing. And even though they might not be liking your post or looking at it or commenting, somebody's always watching. And it's only a matter of time before it starts picking up. And you have to just be consistent with it and don't get discouraged.
Wow, you've said so many things right there in that last those last tips. I love that you said consistency. It really almost trumps everything. We don't have to be great. We just have to be consistent. And
Right.
then you've also mentioned that don't be a secret agent. Put your name out there and let other people hear from you and hear about you. And just because they're not necessarily responding to you and you're not hearing back from them doesn't mean that they're not hearing you. So that's just awesome. Well, what markets do you cover, Vicki?
I work all of Rhode Island. Rhode Island's the smallest state in the country, so it takes an hour to get from one end to the other, so it's not hard to do. And southeastern Massachusetts.
Well, that's awesome. And if someone wants to reach out and get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Usually my cell phone, email or text or call me 401-432-4129.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Vicki. Great to spend some time. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to Vicki or myself, whether it's real estate or social media or anything about brokerage models. We just love to share. So thanks so much, Vicki. Good to see you.
Thank
See
you.
y'all later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.